Hello, everyone. I'm Sandy Anastasi, psychic, channel, and astrologer, and intuitive life coach. This is my tarot tip number 2. It's all about using the tarot for yourself. When I teach tarot, inevitably my students ask, what if I want to use the cards to read for myself? As with all divination tools, using the tarot to answer questions or even to do complete readings on yourself is a very touchy subject. The reason for this is simple. Most of the time when you want to know about something that's going on in your life, it's because it's emotionally important to you. And there's the problem. As soon as your emotions become involved, you tend to interpret the cards or any other divination tool you're using in a way that either gives you what you want, or if they're really fearful thoughts, they are going to expand your fears. The best time, you see, to do a reading on yourself is when you've got nothing important going on in your life. So you're able to be objective, just as you would be when reading for another person. But of course, that's not what you really want. You want the cards to give you answers when you need them. That means your emotions are involved. I generally caution my beginning students to either refrain from doing readings on themselves entirely, or if they absolutely must, to limit those readings to simple yes and no questions, keeping in mind that a question must be carefully thought through and worded correctly before you ask it, as you must ask it only once. When you ask the same question over and over again, the cards will just lead you to confusion, as they will seem to be contradicting themselves. That's because they already answered the question once. So even though you might try rewording it, they're assuming you must be asking something else entirely. So they may be answering something you are holding in your mind and didn't even give voice to. Yes, it can get very confusing. So the rule of thumb is that a question should only be asked once. For more advanced students who want to do entire readings on themselves or a situation in their lives, here are my recommendations. First, try doing a meditation before doing the reading to clear your mind or emotional stress and mental confusion away. Do your reading in a clear and protected space, free from interruptions. Be alone, because if you're with a friend, their attitude and thought patterns will affect what you see in your reading. If you want their input, show them the cards afterwards and get their input then. Separate their interpretation from your interpretation. Record your own reading if you're able, and if you have a friend read that spread after you've read it, record that one too, and then you can compare them. You want to let your words, when you're doing your reading, come without interruption. So when you're taking notes for yourself and you're having to constantly interrupt that flow, that's going to disrupt the information that comes through for you. So record it instead of taking notes if you possibly can. Don't overthink. Remember to take a photo of the card spread so that you can refer back to it in the future. I have photos of spreads of cards that I've done on myself more than 5 years ago that are still playing out. Yes, the cards can look that far into the future. Occasionally I look back at these spreads and I'm amazed at how accurate the tarot cards can predict the future, although most of the time when I actually did the initial reading on myself, I only caught a bare fraction of the information that they were actually giving. My final recommendation is don't take the tarot cards when you read for yourself too seriously. Have fun with them instead. The tarot is an amazing educational tool, and if you can remain objective, you are your own best practice subject. Have fun with the cards, folks. Let them be something that brings you joy for many, many years and educates you and teaches you about life along the way. I'm Sandy Anastasi, and you can find more about me and my work and the tarot at www.sandyanastasi.com. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back soon with your next tarot tip. Bye-bye.